only the question of cost, it's also a question of availability of resources in the United States.
Okay, but you are underlining, aren't you, that there will be a differential of somewhere between 25,000 to take the median figure, and that is something that companies both in America and in India will bear in mind. Am I right in pointing that out, Mr. Apte?
No, the point I'm trying to say that saving will get reduced by $5,000 to $6,000 if we assume that all tax rebates on overseas jobs will go, or the tax benefits are taken away.
Okay.
But still attractiveness remains, though it's not as high as it used to be 3 years back or it's today.
Attractiveness remains, but it won't be as high as it used to be. One view is that disallowing offshore costs as legitimate expenses might stop additional or new business being offshored, but it's highly unlikely to result in the pullback of jobs that have already been shipped overseas. Would you agree with that? Business may not grow as fast, but business that's already overseas won't be affected.
You know, if at all they were able to implement the law to say that part of expenses can be linked to offshoring, because, you know, what 10% of the CEO's salary you link to offshoring, 20%, 30%, it will, the only people who will gain if that law comes into being are lawyers. So it will create a lot of jobs for lawyers, because there's going to be a lot of litigation.
That has never stopped America legislating in the past. It's unlikely to stop it now either.
Let's take that at face value, because I think we have a persecution complex. We are trying to see that just because he said something, it has to be linked to offshoring, and we want to find a reason. Okay, it is not IT jobs, then it must be a law that he's contemplating that will make it happen. I think it is, as Jerry said, it is going to be very tough to be able to even create a law that allows you to segregate those expenses.
All right, so you take the Jerry Rao position that this is just an infinitesimal 0.1%, if that possibility.
If at all.
But just for a moment to pursue that argument with you, Mr. Mittal, if there is going to be a change in the profitability of offshoring, and if the cost is going to go up, even if that doesn't affect existing offshoring business, won't it put pressure on US companies to hammer out better terms, thus reducing even further the profit margin for Indian BPOs? Because surely when Americans discover that their benefit is going down, they'll put pressure on you and others like you to bring your costs down.
You know, Karan, I personally think this debate should take a different route. Who is offshoring to whom? Many U.S. corporations who do work in India, more than 50% of their revenues come outside U.S. So if Texas Instruments is developing a chip for India or China, is that offshoring work here? Because that's work that is genuinely of the subsidiaries that's happening here. So the biggest impact is not going to be on the Indian companies, it's going to be on the U.S. companies and their competitiveness, their ability to deliver products on time. And I think the whole world is today short of talent, and I think they would be depriving themselves. We also have not taken into account the impact that would happen of what the other countries will do to the US, because this protectionism is not going to be then a one-way street.
Absolutely. In other words, the United States will be worried about its competitors. Let me put that point to you, Mr. Rao. Clearly, the other guests on this panel, with the possible exception of Mr. Apte, do share your view that this is not going to have any major serious worrying effect on IT and BPO companies. But do you think, that point apart, it now would be wise for Indian IT or BPO companies to look much more actively at markets in Europe and elsewhere? Up to now, the US represents 50 to 60% of India's 40 billion IT BPO exports. Has the time come now to diversify and look beyond America?
I think that is happening already. I mean, in a sense, if you look, maybe a few years ago, it was 70 to 80%. It's already down to 50 to 60. I think the real pressures on the margins, Karan, are going to come because U.S. business is finding it difficult to make profits because of the economic environment. So if the environment improves, I don't see a problem for profit margins or for business for anyone. And that's the larger question, not saying, you know, it's between overseas jobs and American jobs. And I want to come in a little bit more on that. You know, everybody today believes that a small recession was converted into a Great Depression because the U.S. Congress in the 30s passed something called the Smoot-Hawley Act, where they put curbs on international trade. I mean, surely the present U.S. administration doesn't want to go down in history as the ones who, by putting restrictions on international trade, converted a recession into a Great Depression, and that's just what will happen if they start taking anti-free trade measures, which is why we all hope, believe that this is just rhetoric, it'll just go away, it's just talk, it doesn't have any substance.
And to underline your hope and your belief, perhaps I should point out that there are few American presidents as conscious of the lesson of history as President Obama. No doubt he's got the lessons of the 1933 Depression and the mishandling of it by President Hoover very much at the top of his mind. Therefore, very quickly, Mr. Apte, before I take a break, as an analyst who looks at the figures and who looks more importantly at the possibility of even 0.1% chances becoming reality, what's your advice to people in the IT BPO business in India?
It's 2-3 things they have to really plan. Point one, I think, the industry as well as industry association need to actually strengthen their lobbying in Washington DC. That surely is required because it's not a question of what is the actual law. GE and Citibank surely understands that this may not be reality and they possibly will subscribe to what Jerry Rao said. The issue is the new customers, those who are not understanding offshoring fully, may get a little bit baffled by some of this political rhetoric. I think Indian industry and especially larger brands need to use their weightage in the US to lobby. That's a point number one. Point number two, they have to work on their value proposition to remain highly competitive and continue saving by sending jobs to India. They're the two things they have to do on priority. And whatever we say of, European market and opening up, at this point in time, and if you look at what has happened in last 12 months, those successes have been very limited, especially in continent.
All right, gentlemen, let's take a break at that point. Let's come back and pick up that very last point made by Mr. Apte, which I'm going to expand and ask, beyond the fear and immediate threat to India's IT and BPO companies, is there a danger that we're beginning to witness some form of protectionism which may get worse if the economy in America doesn't revive fast, and if the Democrats who are still continue to slide in their fortunes and then, worst of all, end up losing or doing badly in November? That may not be that far away. Is there therefore a hint of protectionism that we need to act against? That's in a moment's time. See you after the break.